Hey everyone. Hi. So I wanted to share a little story. When I was in college, I got a BA in languages and I was studying German, and I was actually studying East German literature and reading a novel by Hermann Kant. And it was fascinating to me. And one of the things we talked about was censorship. And this was one of the things that was in the novel too. And it talked about the 4 levels of censorship. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but I did want to share that the first level of censorship is self-censorship, right? Like that's how you keep a community closed, or a country closed in that case. And that's how you keep things from getting out, right? Is that you monitor yourself, what you should and should not be reading. I'm thankful we don't have that in the United States, because we like to have choices, don't we? However, at the same time, when you have so many choices like we do, like we are the land of opportunity, right? We are the land of choices. And in the land of choices, you have so many choices, it's hard to take in all the information, determine what is, an okay thing for you to read, or to have the experience of, or not an okay thing to have the experience of. And so self-censorship is something that is critical in a free society, believe it or not, from the standpoint of there's a lot of junk out there. There's just so much stuff out there that is not worthy of our, brain power to put into. But also, we need to decide what it is we want to spend our time on. We need to decide, because our environment affects our brain and how our brain works and what goes into our brain. Input equals or creates our viewpoint. And so if we're going to be mindful of what our input is, then we need to censor ourselves. And so just a prime example for me is, what about the news? Hi, Sandy. What about the news? Like how much coronavirus information are you inundating yourself with? Like, is it everything you can possibly read? Because at first, I think most of us we were opening up to anything we could possibly read or find out about, and the coronavirus. But then there comes a point where how much is that helpful to you anymore, right? Like it's only maybe this much more helpful to be reading 2 hours more a day. Something like that's how I figured this out for myself anyway. And so it's like, okay, what do I need to read then in order to stay up to date enough to protect my family and my community and know what's going on? And anything more than that isn't really helping my life to expand and grow the way I'd like it to raise my vibration, to express myself the way I would like to, and to focus on my inner world. And so it really wasn't very much, like maybe a few minutes a day is all I really need to know to look at some statistics and find out where things are happening in the world and stuff like that. And it doesn't take that much time to do that. And then there's other news I like to read as well. But beyond that, I don't need anything else. And so that's an example of self-censorship. I censor the news that I read. I censor the types of publications I read. I censor the books and the information that I have access to. And so that I can live a fuller life. And so I can be the gatekeeper of what goes into my brain and my body, and I'm the gatekeeper of my experiences in the world. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Like we actually do get to self-censor ourselves and do it in a wise, intentional way that supports us. If another prime example would be, do you want to be scrolling through Facebook, or do you want to be intentional about it in a way that's supportive of who you are, right? Like I have never been a scroller. It's never been me. It's never been something I've ever done. I actually don't even know how to find it. I mean, I know when I first open Facebook, I can scroll, but if I go into my page, I don't know how to get back to scrolling. because I just don't do it. And so anyway, that's another example of I've just censored. That's not a value of mine. And our values is what can be the keys to guiding us to what we want to censor out of our lives or not to be part of our lives or to have in our lives as well. So I think the idea of censorship is just so critical and so important, and letting our values guide what we allow into our lives. So I hope you found that helpful today. Let me know. Give me your comments. What are you censoring? What are you bringing into your life? What are you calling into your life, and what are you allowing into your life? It really is an intentional process, isn't it? All right. Thanks, everyone. And I hope you have a beautiful, amazing day, and look forward to tomorrow. Bye.